founding partner of HKExcel. So you're watching this video right now. I assume you have a written assignment coming up in IB English Literature. Okay, so in this video, what I really want to show you is how you can get a level 7 with the least amount of time. So I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to do in each step. Okay, so I'm going to give you a detailed outline for each part of the written assignment. Okay, I'm going to give you specific tips. Okay, very specific tips that you can use immediately to get level 7, I think within 4 hours. Okay, so this is about helping you to get the best marks possible with the shortest amount of time. Okay, so in your written assignment, there are actually 4 parts, right? So just a quick introduction about what the parts are. Probably your school have told you this, if not, just a quick reminder. Okay, so the first part is like interactive oral, which is an in-class discussion, 30 minutes to 1.5 hours, depending on how many books you're doing, right? So this is going to be basically a group discussion about the book, and your teacher will be supervising this. Okay, and the second part is the reflective statement, where you write a reflective statement on the first part, which is the interactive oral. Then the next part is a supervised writing, which is you basically get 45 minutes to answer essay prompt. Like you answer an essay question related to the work that you're studying, related to the text you're studying. And then lastly, you have your actual written assignment, which is a 1,200 to 1,500 word essay where you come up with your own topic. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to basically show you how you can get the maximum points in each part, okay, in all of the parts that I stated here. So keep watching. Before we get into the tips, let's go to the rubric first because we want to know how to get the top marks, right? So the first criteria is fulfilling the requirements of the reflective statement. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this later. This is very easy to get 3 out of 3, right? So there are specific requirements of the reflective statement, and you need to satisfy them. This is easy. Next part is knowledge and understanding of the text. Okay, so throughout all the assessments we talked about just now, you need to show that you understand the text deeply, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. Then criteria C is you need to show your appreciation of the writer's choice. This is one of the most important parts. So basically, the idea here is that in your written assignment, you need to show that you need to analyze the writer's choice. Okay, so how does the writer use different literary devices? How does the writer use different techniques to achieve his or her objective? So you need to show your understanding of this. So you need to write about this, right? You need to talk about how the writer writes, basically analyze how the writer writes. Okay. Criterion D is organization and development. I would say this is a very easy part to get a level 7 in, because in the rest of this video, I'm going to share with you the structure that level 7 students use. So if you just follow the structure, you will get 5 out of 5 for organization and development, because organization and development is about how you structure your essay. So I'm going to teach you later a very specific way you can structure your essay for the reflective statement and for the written assignment in the end. The last part is language. So basically, you need to be able to use literary terms. Okay, so for example, simile, symbolism, these types of terms you need to include in your essay. Okay, then your essay, you need to write in an articulate way. Okay, you need to articulate your idea as well. Okay, so it's not about choosing very difficult words, but it's about using accurate words. So the first component is interactive oral. This is basically a group discussion where your teacher will be supervising with a group of your classmates, right? So in the rubric, there isn't a part specifically about the interactive oral, but then I suppose how you do in the interactive oral will affect the points you get in part B and part C. This is all part of the grade, okay, interactive oral. So how should you prepare for the interactive oral, right? It's a group discussion, so how should you prepare for it? Well, I would suggest, so before you go into interactive oral, you should know well the major themes of the book. What are the major themes? Okay, then you need to know what the context is, like what is the setting of the entire book. Because if you don't know these things, it can be very difficult for you to participate in the discussion, right? So the idea here is that you need to have sufficient participation in the group discussion. So obviously you need to know, firstly, you need to know the basic themes and the context, right? But then I would suggest you to really go a step further. So before you go into the interactive oral, prepare 5 to 6 good viewpoints with good reference. So viewpoint, what do I mean by viewpoint? Like an argument. Like for example, you can talk about how the writer uses, like this example here. How does the text use symbolism and stage motifs to show the flaws in Nora and Torvald's relationship? This is from the Doll's House, right? So something like this is something you can think about. So have 5 to 6 good arguments before you go into the interactive oral. So what do I mean by an argument? Just like an answer to a question like this, like what I highlighted here. So, for example, an argument about how symbolism is used in a certain relationship, or how the symbolism used to enhance a certain theme in the book. So have 5 to 6 really good arguments. So you can you can sound really smart in the discussion, right? So you need to make sure you participate. So that's why you need to know the themes, and you need to have good arguments in the discussion. So you need to sound like you understand the book. Okay, you need to impress your teacher. Now let's talk about your reflective statement. So this is a 300 to 400 word statement, so it's not supposed to be very long. And in this reflective statement, you can use a first person way to write this. So you can use the word I, basically, right? So what are you supposed to answer in the reflective statement? So number one, you need to answer like, what points about, so what arguments do you bring into the conversation? Okay. Secondly, what aspects of the discussion were you most interested to, right? So what aspects of discussion were interesting to you? Third point, what new perspectives did you learn from the discussion, right? So basically the entire piece is you need to reflect on the interactive oral, the group discussion, okay? And these are the 3 points you need to write about in the 300 to 400 words. So now let's move on to talk about the structure, right? The structure of the reflective statement. So in your introduction, you can briefly talk about the themes that were discussed in the interactive oral, right? The themes, so what are the themes that were discussed? The first paragraph, you talk about what you found most interesting, right? And what new things did you learn, right? About the topic you found most interesting. For example, maybe you can talk about the discussion about the relationship between Nora and Torvald really was very interesting to me throughout the interactive oral. Then you talk about like, why do you think it's interesting, what you learned, right? Second paragraph, you can talk about another new thing that you learned in the discussion, and how it helped you to understand the writer's choice better. So what new things did you learn that relates to the writer's choice, right? And then conclusion, just summarize the new things that you have learned and how that helps you to appreciate the work more, right? So yeah, so this is the structure. Okay, so the next part is the supervised writing. So this is kind of similar to the paper 2, except that you don't compare 2 texts. You just focus on 1 text. Okay, and so basically you'll be given 3 to 4 essay questions, and you need to choose one of them to answer. And you're actually allowed to bring notes into this examination session, but no internet searching. So 45 minutes is allowed. You just need to pick 1 essay question. So some examples, these are kind of like the paper 2 questions. For example, comment on the use of entrances and exits in the text you're studying. Explain the use of symbolism in the text you're studying. How does the structure of the text affect and extend the writer's main themes? So these are some of the questions you may face, right? And you need to pick one of them to study, to answer. So to structure this essay well, it's very easy, right? The first paragraph, you want to show your understanding of the text and have introduced your thesis. So your thesis is basically a direct response to the essay question, right? So in the introductory paragraph, you can talk about like what is the context of the text, like this novel is set in blah 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 blah, and the major themes are da 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 da. And then you can talk about like the text type, like so this is actually a novel or anything like that. Then you basically write a thesis statement that directly responds to the essay prompt. Okay. Then in the body paragraph, I suggest you have 3 body paragraphs. So each body paragraph should be a specific argument that you have relating to the essay prompt. Okay. So make sure that your body paragraph, it needs to be focused on the writer's choice. Remember, talk about the writer's choice. So for example, if you're talking about symbolism, you need to talk about how does the writer use symbolism to achieve his or her objectives, right? So in your body paragraph, I suggest you have 3 body paragraphs. So make 3 arguments that supports your essay prompt. And in each body paragraph, you need to have like supporting arguments as well. So we suggest you to use the PEEL method, which is you make your point, explain the point, provide evidence from the text like a quote, and then link the quote to your argument, right? PEEL method, very easy to use. Then in your conclusion, then you basically rephrase your thesis and then summarize your supporting points, right? So just follow this essay. You should at least get full marks in the organization part. So a lot of students ask, so I don't even know what question I'm going to get. So how should I prepare for it? Right. So similar to paper 2, actually, I want to tell you that a lot of times the essay questions are actually very similar. There are only that many types of essay questions they can ask, to be honest with you. Like they can ask you about like maybe symbolism, characterization. So there are only that many things they can really ask. All right. So that's why the way I would suggest you to prepare is you can pick 3 to 5 questions from the past that have showed up. Okay, so for example, I told you there are three example questions here. These are some examples of questions. So pick 3 to 5. If you want to be over prepared, then pick 5, right? If you don't have enough time, then maybe just do 3, right? But the more essays you do, the better chance you have. So what you want to do is you want to write full essays at home. If you really want to get good marks and you want to be sure that you'll get a good mark, getting an IB expert with us, like a tutoring lesson, that can help you because our IB experts can show you how you can improve your essay, right? So the idea is that after you have prepared a lot of essays you have written at home, when you actually go to the exam, you'll probably see a question similar to what you have prepared. Then you can just answer the question that is most similar to what you have prepared, right? Because you already answered a similar question at home, so you should do very well in the actual exam. Okay, so this is just a secret tip I have for you. Let's talk about the final written assignment, which is like basically a 1400 to 1500 essay you write at home. Okay, so you get to pick your own topic. Okay, so actually picking a good topic is a important first step. Okay, if your essay is if your topic is not great, it will hinder your ability to get a level 7. So you need to pick the right topic. So what's a good topic? A good topic should be focused on a specific aspect in the writer's choice. Okay, so for example, maybe you want to talk about how the writer portrays female in a very detailed way. So your essay should be your topic needs to be as a written assignment. In this part, you get to choose your own topic, your own essay topic. So picking a good topic is the first step to success. If you get a bad topic, no matter how well you do, it's hard to get a level 7. So what's a good topic? A good topic should be focused on the writer's choice, and it needs to be specific yet leave you enough room for discussion. So you need to strike a balance between being too detailed and being too broad, right? So I'll give you an example of a good topic. So let's say a bad topic will be how are women portrayed in Henrik Ibsen's The Doll's House. So this would be slightly too broad, right? Yeah. So what will be a better version? How does Nora's evolution in The Doll's House shows interplay between feminism and patriarchy in the Victorian era? So this is a lot more specific, right? So your essay needs to be focused on a certain aspect of the play where you can talk about writer's choice, right? Like how the writer uses literary devices, how does the writer use different tools to characterize different characters, that sort of thing, right? So if you're not sure whether your title is good, you can get help from our IB experts, right? But I'm basically telling you need to pick a rather specific topic, focused on a certain theme where you can explore the writer's choice. So you can follow my example just now. So the structure for the final written assignment can be similar to the essay you write in class, right? To the supervised writing you do earlier, right? 5 paragraphs. So first paragraph, introduce your thesis, that answers the question, and then introduce the context of your text, right? Then you can have 3 body paragraphs. So each body paragraph should be an argument to back up your thesis, right? And then use the PEEL method in each body paragraph. Then in your conclusion, just restate your thesis and your arguments, right, in a different way. And then you can also explore themes, like what are the major themes that are explored in this book, and then what is the purpose of this text, right? And then comment on how the writer achieves his or her purpose for the text, right? Okay, so this is it for this video. But so I know because for this written assignment, different students will do different texts. So it's very hard for me to give you an extremely detailed outline. But then I hope that this video provides a good idea on how you can structure your essays and how you can prepare. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can book a trial lesson with us with our IB experts, right? They will help you with this written assignment on your specific book.